Hi guys, in today's video we're going to be reviewing the 2017 edition of the Surface Pro. Now this is my new computer that I've been talking about for a while. I actually mentioned it first when I was setting up my Patreon and said that I needed a new computer. So I finally got a new computer and I went with the Surface Pro for a number of reasons. The first reason I went for the Surface Pro is it's very portable, easy to move around, which is great for me as I can do editing in my bedroom, in my living room, and I don't have to be stuck in one specific place, which is fantastic as I have children and they play in different rooms, and if I want to go and edit elsewhere, I can do that. The other reason I went for the Surface Pro is that it's got a touch screen, and I love digital painting. Although I'm not the best at it, guys, I absolutely love it, and the fact that I can actually draw on the screen with the pen that you can get separately, which is the Microsoft Surface Pen, is absolutely fantastic. Now this is magnetic and it's got really strong dynamon, however you pronounce them, magnets in them, and it slips on the side just like that, and it will not fall off unless you physically pull it off the side of the Surface. The keyboard detaches like so, and the keyboard input is so buttery smooth, guys, and the trackpad is absolutely lovely. It feels so nice to use. It is expensive. It's about £100 for this trackpad, just above or just below depending on where you get it from, but the quality speaks for itself. It's got this lovely like a felt backing to it, and you can see it's got Microsoft embossed on the back. And as we take a look around the Surface, the thing that I don't like about the Surface is it hasn't got many ports. Now we've got a normal 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on this side. I just put the pen back on, and on this side we've got a USB port. We've got a like a TV interface port to actually hook it up to another screen, and we've got the charging port, which is absolutely fantastic. I have to add, it's magnetic, so when you're charging the Surface, you just literally have to put the charging port slightly close to it and it just pulls into the port. So if the children are around and they ever pull the port, it's not going to drag the Surface, it's not going to smash on the floor, and you're not going to damage the port as it's magnetic. It will just fall out, which is fantastic. I find the magnetic port a fantastic feature. We've got a HD camera on the front and a HD camera on the rear, and on the back we've got this awesome kickstand, which is quite stiff, so it's not just going to flop about, which is fantastic, and it goes down to I think 65 degrees, which is like painting mode, if you like, when you're actually want to do some painting on the Surface, which I find really good. I'm just going to put the stand down a bit. I'll just hook up the keyboard, which again is magnetic, and as you can see, it just clips on instantly without any fuss or hassle. There's another magnetic strip along here, which you just lift up the keyboard slightly and then it gives a slight angle, as you can see here, and it fits lovely. And as I say, the typing on this, if I can just go on to Google Chrome, and if I just start typing it, it's so buttery smooth, guys. I'll show you a little around the programs that I've downloaded. Now I've only just had this recently, guys. Now if I zoom into the screen a bit, we'll see some of the programs that I've got, which is very few at the moment. I've got your obligatory Google Chrome for watching your Netflix and your YouTube and surfing the internet. I've also got Critter. Now, I've had a problem with Critter with the Surface. Critter is a free painting application and it's absolutely fantastic. But unfortunately it doesn't support the surface. And what I mean by that is I can use the pen to actually paint in Critter, but it doesn't support the touch sensitivity of the actual stylus. So now if I go to a new canvas and create a new canvas, you'll see that when I draw with the stylus, which works absolutely lovely, I've got no pen pressure at all. Now this new Surface pen, the 2017 edition, has I believe 4,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. So what that means is when you're painting in some applications, you can actually on the fly, when you're drawing, you can press down lightly to get thin lines and press down heavily to get thick lines. And if you actually change the opacity to pen pressure, sorry I can't get my words out guys, you can also change how the opacity from light paint to thick and heavy paint. But as I say, with Critter I can't actually change the opacity at all or the pressure sensitivity. Now I spent a day trying to look for the fix for this. Some people said download WinTab drivers, which I did do to try and solve the problem. Did not help at all. So Critter unfortunately is not an app that I can use. I've downloaded another free painting app which is absolutely fantastic, especially if you're into comic books and that sort of thing, as it's got rulers, perspective, it's even got speech bubbles, and it's also got panel guides, which I don't really fully know how to use at this moment in time, as I've not really used Medibang. I'm just going to fill this layer in with a bucket tool, just change that to white, fill it in, add a new layer down here, change it back to the brush tool. And as you can see, the brush that I'm using here, be helpful if I changed it from white to a colour. Here we go. You can see that I've got a light stroke here, but as I press down harder on the stylus on the screen, I get a much harder stroke. I'm finding that this is quite a good app, but the app that I've just downloaded a trial of, and I think I will be purchasing this app, is Leonardo. It's a brand new app. It's in beta stage, and or beta as our American friends would say, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's got a never-ending canvas, and you can zoom in and out of the never-ending canvas. I'll just put it back to 100%. You've got absolutely fantastic brush tools. Now it seems that there's only a few brush tools. You've got ink, pencil, marker, calligraphy, jagged brush, round, flat, and an airbrush. But the actual options to change the brush properties in this application is absolutely fantastic. And the pressure sensitivity I found on this application is the best I've used so far. And now if I just change the pixels to a smaller pixels, and just, I don't know, I'll do a quick doodle. I don't know what I'm going to doodle. Just just do a quick doodle like so. Give them some cauliflower ears, I don't know, and some spiky hair, and a little thin neck. Put an arm up. I don't know. Anyway, guys, you get the idea. But if I change the pixels up, you can see how I can just ever so lightly press on this the stylus on the screen and get thinner lines, and I've got some nice texture going on this brush. As you can see, the texture there is really nice, and just by pressing a little harder on the brush, I'm able to get some really nice lines. So if I just open up a a quick doodle I did yesterday. As you can see, not the best, guys. I mean, I spent a few years trying to learn Photoshop, going back to don't save, to 2013 to about 2015, but I stopped painting all the way up till 2017. It might have even been before that, actually, to be honest. But I won't be using Photoshop, and the reason I'm not going to use Photoshop is it's not, I think, now the best tool to paint in. It's absolutely phenomenal software to use for photographers and even digital artists. If you do want to paint in Photoshop, you can still paint. It's still got a great set of brushes, but it's just too cost prohibitive. It's £20 a month to get Photoshop, and over the year that's going to work out to way above £200 just to use Photoshop. And for personal use, I just find it's just astronomical. If you're a professional and photography is your living, then Photoshop is definitely a viable option, and paying the £20 a month, I would suppose, wouldn't be too much at all if that's your profession. I've also got Sketchable, which I actually bought from the App Store. It cost me £19, and this is designed specifically for tablets entirely. And as you can see here, I've just been doing some messing about in it. It's got some really handy moving about of the colour wheel there. I need to set this up for left-handed. It's at the moment it's set up for right-handed, but I need to set that up. It's quite simple. I think I do it in the stylus settings, and it'll move my icons over to the left because I'm left-handed, as you can see, guys. But as you can see, what it starts off at, you have some journals, and this is a journal that comes installed with Sketchable, and I've made my own journal, but as you can see, I've not used it yet. I've not had chance. I've just been scribbling in it, if you like. But if I open up a new page, I can turn the canvas using 2 fingers, zoom in and out. We've got all our brushes down the bottom there. We've got a chalk brush, as I can show you here. What colour have I got selected? Let's just select a red. Why is it not working? Am I on a lock layer? Let me just check my layers. Oh, Jax is going. Jax, be quiet. I don't know why. Oh, it's because I think the pixels are set quite low. Let me change the pixels up a bit. There we go. But as you can see, I've got the pressure at the moment set, so I have to press quite hard with a chalk brush, which you probably would do with a chalk brush. But as you can see, it works really nicely there. As I put some pressure on, I can get thinner lines or thicker lines depending on how hard I use the chalk brush. We've got airbrush tool, brush tool, eraser, pencil, a marker pen, a pen tool, and a fountain pen tool, and they all work really well. Again, I'm got that set quite low, so let's pick that up a bit, and it's really nice, as you can see. But as I say, these tools are so new to me. I'm just getting used to them. I'll just close this down. Let's use this to close it down. And I've also downloaded a trial of Cyberlink's Power Director 15. Now, on my old laptop, I'm using a very ancient version of Power Director. I'm using Power Director 9, and it's really slow on my computer. Whereas I boot up Power Director 15 and we'll go to the full feature editor. This is pretty much what I use now, and I've only got the trial at the moment of this. I've got to purchase it, but having just bought the PC, I've got to be honest, guys, I just can't afford it at the moment. That's going to come afterwards, and I think it's £50 at the moment to purchase this software, but for what I do, it's worth it. So anyway, I'm going to click try now, and we'll just wait for it to boot up. And I'll just import. So if I go to file, no, wrong one. Just finding my way around here. I'll go here actually. Import media files. Now if I import my logo, which is the OPN logo here, I can actually add one of these videos, add my logo, change the size of the logo. This is in PGN format, which is very important if you're actually using Power Director and you want your own logos to show up. If you set the picture that you're going to use as a PNG, it will keep all the transparency of the actual image so you can see through it, which makes it look much more professional. But as you can see, that's pretty much how I do, and I just add other clips together into the timeline of the video, and then we click play and so on, and we can extend it and we can make it smaller, we can move it across, and so on and so forth. But that's all the software that I've got at the moment, guys. Not going to save that, but let me know what you think of the Surface Pro, guys. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. I want to say a huge thank you to my patrons that have helped support me and helped fund the purchase of this new PC, which is going to help me, hopefully, when I'm up to speed with these new applications, maybe do some digital art tutorials, but certainly I will be using this to actually edit my videos, and instead of struggling like hell on my old PC, I'll be able to really save a lot of time when I'm editing my videos and so on and so forth. But if you've got any questions about the Surface Pro, you want to know anything more about digital painting, or you're thinking about getting into it yourself, or anything like that, any questions whatsoever, guys, please put them down below. And thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.